What's up, Star Wars fans? It's the dynamic duo, back with another Kenobi video, and today we're going to be going over everything in Episode 3 and giving our thoughts. So many epic Easter eggs and callbacks, so many cool scenes, and so many spoilers. That's your warning to not watch this video until you've seen the latest episode. But, if you just don't care, then welcome to the video. Now without further ado, let's begin. So this episode starts off strong. We instantly see Obi-Wan reaching out to Qui-Gon Jinn, once again trying to get that help from his master. After nothing but silence, he starts hearing voices in his head. First of Reva, taunting him, then of Yoda and Qui-Gon, as well as Anakin during their duel on Mustafar. While he's playing back these moments in his head, we cut over to Darth Vader leaving the Bacta tank we saw from Episode 2, and now he's having his suit put on. This scene is just so awesome, watching Vader being put together, just seeing him in this vulnerable state as he's being turned into an absolute beast. As soon as his helmet attaches, we hear his breathing, followed by,
"He's coming, Master."
Cut to Mustafar, where Vader is in his castle and talking to the third sister. He makes it very clear that Kenobi is his only priority. Nothing else matters, and if she fails to find him, she will not live to regret it. He also reveals he knows that she seeks his approval, and with the presumed death of the Grand Inquisitor, she can take up the place, if she succeeds. Then we get this awesome shot of Vader looking over the planet from his fortress. This might be my favorite shot. I actually just made it my wallpaper for my computer. So, yeah, this is just one beautiful shot. We go back to the cargo ship where Leia and Kenobi are finally landing on a planet known as Mapuzo. Formerly, it was a lively planet with fields and families. Now, it was just a mining system that the Empire decided to ravage. As they wander towards their destination, we see Obi-Wan doesn't trust Haja, and Leia does trust him. Leia is taught that the Empire doesn't truly help, and the few who do are fighting a losing battle. Then, one of, if not the best scene happens right here. We see Kenobi staring, terrified of what he sees in the distance. A cloaked figure. And as he turns, it's revealed to be a hallucination of Anakin Skywalker, the fallen Jedi, now Darth Vader, Obi-Wan's former brother. It is so good seeing Hayden as Anakin again, and I truly hope we get to see more, even if it's just flashbacks. We need it. Hallucinations, flashbacks, anything they can give us. Back to the recap, though. Leia snaps Kenobi out of this trance that he's in, and they continue on. He tells her to stay close. Then we see the third sister arrive to Fortress Inquisitorius on the planet Nur, where their base of operations is. We've seen this before in Rebels and in Jedi Fallen Order. This is where they torture captured Jedi and train those who have turned. The Inquisitors get into a little scuffle, Reva telling them Vader put her in charge following the passing of the Grand Inquisitor. We can see much tension between the fifth brother and the third sister, so I absolutely love this feud. The Empire then sends out probes to all possible planets that Kenobi could be on. Back on Mapuzo, Kenobi and Leia arrive at the location with a cover story that they are farmers, father and daughter named Luma and Orden, from Tal. But no one is at the location. Obi-Wan loses hope, but Leia doesn't. She quickly hitches a ride to the port from an alien named Freck. He obliges and lets him in, but it is revealed that he is a heavy supporter of the Empire, as there's nothing wrong with a little order. During their trip, some Stormtroopers who had a late transport also hitch a ride and question the duo about who they are and if they've seen the Jedi that could potentially be on the planet. We even get some awesome Padme references after Obi-Wan almost blows their cover by calling her Leia.
Sometimes when I look at Luma, I see her mother's face. We all miss her very much.
The troopers buy it and hop off the ride, thanking Freck for the ride, and letting them know if they see the Jedi to tell them. Leia turns to Obi-Wan and she can tell he knows her real mother, but he denies it. So she asks if he's her real father. Now I really want to talk about this scene because he replies,
I wish I could say I was. But no, I'm not.
Which she replies that sometimes she tries to imagine what Anakin was like.
Sometimes I try to imagine what he was like.
We also get the revelation that Kenobi had a brother and some more of his past, nothing new for a Jedi. Still pretty cool though. But what I really want to talk about is people taking that quote out of context. Obi-Wan wasn't saying he loves Padme, and that headcanon sucks. It's gross. So Just stop trying to push it. It's not a good one. No one likes it. Only the people that want to be weird and different. He was saying he wishes he could tell her about him, about Anakin. Take the pain away. Let her have that life that she deserves, that every child deserves. After all, she was his brother's child. He's kind of like an uncle to her. On top of this, Obi-Wan is 11 years older than Padme and an older, wiser friend to not only Padme, but Anakin. So stop being weirdos on Twitter with this Anakin x Obi-Wan or Padme x Obi-Wan. No one likes it. It's pretty gross. Moving on, we come to a stop at a standard inspection site. Kenobi wants out, but it's too late. The stormtroopers ask Kenobi to step out as they call in a probe droid. He does this, and they order him to raise his head so the probe droid can identify him. But before they even know what's happening, Obi-Wan draws his blaster, taking out all of the troopers and the droid. There were some amazing parts in this one scene alone. He shoots one trooper, causing him to fall and be split in half, which was really brutal. Poor guy just wanted to finish his shift and go home. He also saves Leia from a stormtrooper that is using her as a human shield. Then they move past the inspection site where another group of stormtroopers shows up to arrest them, but they are saved by an Imperial officer named Tala, who takes out all of the stormtroopers and reveals that she is the help Haja sent from last episode. This shows Obi-Wan how there still is hope throughout the galaxy, even if he doesn't believe at that moment. Once again, we're back on Nur. The probe droid got the information out. The third sister goes to inform Vader, but the fifth brother tells her it's too late because he already has, and Vader was most appreciative. They are obviously competing to be by Vader's side. Then they take off to Mapuzo. They shut off every port so no one can get into or out of the planet once again. Luckily, the pilot Tala relies on can still get them out. Leia gets a bit emotional and blames herself, but Kenobi reassures her that she did nothing wrong and that he will get her home very soon. During this next part, Tala reveals her and many others have started a system to save and help other Jedi and Force users because the Empire is hunting all Force users down now. It's called The Path. We even get an awesome Easter egg of Quinlan Vos, which is awesome because he is one of my favorites in the Jedi Order. The mentor of Aayla Secura, a man who's been on the light side and dark side, and so much more. He is one of the people who help smuggle younglings and save other Force users. But before we can dig further in, we get interrupted by stormtroopers knocking for the droid Ned B to open up. This droid is one of my favorites already. Even if he was just a loader droid, he had a hammer in hand, ready to protect Kenobi and the others. I've seen some theories that this droid could be Quinlan Vos in a suit, but I highly doubt that. It just doesn't make sense to me. Though I'm sure we'll see the droid once again in the next week's episode. Due to the stormtroopers knowing there's a Jedi on camp, Tala tells the pilot they must leave now. But before they can, Kenobi begins to panic. He can sense him. He can sense Darth Vader. Walking to the door, he looks out the window. We hear screaming as the Inquisitors arrive. Then we hear the iconic breathing. He's here. Vader is coming. He begins to make quick work of the surrounding civilians in an attempt to draw Kenobi out, choking a father to death, breaking his son's neck, and dragging a woman across the ground forcefully before choking her to death as well. Kenobi tells Leia to go and tells Tala to get her out of here and back to Alderaan. She promises she will. Then Kenobi goes to distract his former apprentice. We cut back to Vader, but before he can kill 2 more people, he senses Obi-Wan and follows after him. Obi-Wan leads him away from the town, and the scene we've all been waiting for begins. Vader draws his lightsaber. Kenobi takes off, attempting to avoid the fight. We hear Vader speak in his menacing voice.
You cannot run, Obi-Wan.
As Kenobi draws his lightsaber and searches around in a panic, Vader walks out of the shadows, giving some Michael Myers vibes. Obi-Wan asks him,
What have you become?
Vader reminds him,
I am what you made me.
Once again, the Jedi takes off and the Sith Lord follows in hot pursuit. We go back to the tunnels once again, and Leia tells Tala to please turn around and go help Obi-Wan because she can handle herself and make it on her own. Tala refuses, and they continue down the path. We go back to Obi-Wan, making haste to escape. But before he can, we hear a lightsaber ignite, and he is quickly attacked by Vader, having almost no time to block the swing. Just from how long he's survived already, we can tell Vader is holding back. A fight commences, and here, well, we'll just let you guys watch it. We shoot back over to the tunnels where Tala finally agrees to go help Obi-Wan and tells Leia to hurry to the port where the pilot will meet her. At the same time, the third sister finds the path they are on. Then we get more of this sick fight, so sit back and watch. As the fight goes on, Vader ignites a flame, and now we know the reason that he's been holding back is so he can make Obi-Wan suffer, just like he did all those years ago on Mustafar. The parallels from the battle on Mustafar to this are just amazing. But before they can take Obi-Wan in, Tala saves him by killing a Stormtrooper and causing an explosion. Ned B, the loader droid from earlier, pulls the unconscious Obi-Wan away from the danger. They ready a transport. They have to get him out of here now. I think this will play a big part in the next episode. Maybe an unconscious Kenobi gets put in Bacta, and just like in the book of Boba Fett, we get flashbacks. Hopefully we get to see Anakin, Padme clones, and the many other people that were so iconic in the Jedi Order and during the Clone Wars era. Before the episode ends, we see the third sister over the dead pilot. She found Leia on the path. As Leia begins to run, the episode ends. So that is the whole episode, and honestly, it's the best one yet. An absolute 10 out of 10. Seeing Vader be so terrifying is amazing. The hallucination of Anakin, the references to Leia being like Padme once again, the parallels to Anakin and Obi-Wan's first battle. The fight as a whole was a little underwhelming compared to my expectations, but that doesn't mean it was bad. It was still fantastic. It was so hyped. This episode also made me like the third sister a lot more. I also love the new characters, Tala and Ned B. They're very greatly written. I hope they come back for more. Humanizing the Stormtroopers a little more was another great touch by the writers, so I really just don't know how this episode could have been any better. I truly hope we see more Anakin, hopefully some Padme too, more clones, and a little more Haja, Tala, and Ned B too, as I love all of those characters. What do you guys think will happen next episode? How did you feel about this episode? What did you love and what did you hate? Leave your comments, then make sure to drop a like and subscription because those really help us out. Make sure to catch new episodes of Kenobi on Disney Plus every Wednesday. Peace out, everybody. May the Force be with you.